here are the self-care habits that made me love my life again. Um, Number one, I have them written down. So if you guys see me like looking over here. Um, Number one is travel. And I mentioned traveling in one of my previous videos. So I think it should be titled, or it's something about like why traveling is important. So I do a little bit more deep diving into that on that video. But yes, traveling is one of the best self-care habits ever. Because it makes you have to go out of your comfort zone, see so much of the world, and just experience newness. And when you travel, it just gives you that jolt of happiness that you really need sometimes um, during hard periods in life. And it can really just put you on the right path, make you meet people. Sometimes you'll just meet random people while traveling, and they will tell you what you need to hear at that moment in time. So it's like so many benefits to travel, and it just expands who you are as a person. If you ever wanted to quantum leap, that is the way to go. If you ever wanted to do like big growth, big shifts, travel and put some things on the itinerary that are out of your comfort zone. And I promise you, you will come back an entirely different person. So go and check out the travel video um, that I made as well. These videos should be coming out around the same time. The next self-care habit, and these habits aren't the ones that you hear everybody talking about online. We all hear it. Oh, drink water. Oh, do this. Oh, do that. We've all heard those. So these are going to be some of the more unconventional habits that people really don't think about when it comes to self-care. Yeah, number one, traveling. Number two, for me, is going to the park. Uh, because I like to go to the park and just get to be around happy families, or at least they're happy in that moment. Obviously, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but it really just helps me to go and be around just people having a good time and being out in nature and getting to see the squirrels. And at the park that I go to, we have turtles and alligators too. Oh, so that's that. But yeah, so it's nice getting to see the turtles every once in a while. Definitely got to be careful of alligators and crocodiles and all of that. But seeing the happy families and seeing people and just kids having a good time, and pets too. People bring their dogs and stuff to the park, and just getting to see people play and have a good time really does like lift a lot of weight off of me. So I love going to the park and just sitting down at the tree, having a little picnic, maybe watching a few videos, to kind of keep me entertained. And I'll just kind of stay at the park for about 2-3 hours. So that's number two. And number two, that could vary for different people. But for me personally, going to the park really helps me a lot. Three is dressing up. And three will kind of go and tie into the next two. But dressing up, yes. because when you dress up, it it changes your confidence. It changes how you feel about yourself, and you get to see yourself in a much prettier light, and in a much different light. You know, it's very different wearing a really nice evening gown than it is wearing a spaghetti stained t-shirt. How you're gonna feel about yourself is different with those two experiences. So definitely say, you know, dress up every once in a while, even if it's just like in the house. But definitely just doll yourself up. Life, life is too short, and have some fun. Put on the lashes. Do some makeup, like, you know, wear some nicer stuff, because life is too short. Have fun, and yeah, it's really very simple. It just changes your confidence and how you feel about yourself, and just getting to see yourself in a much different light than every day. So right, when you're going through every day, you know how you look every day. But when you get all dolled up and you're like, oh, okay. So dressing up, that is number 3. Number 4 is buying what you want. And with this one, buying what you want won't necessarily be what makes sense to everybody else. Give you a prime example. The couch that I'm on right now is something that I like. Everybody else, when I was moving, they were like, oh, what kind of couch you're thinking about? This isn't something that they would want. But this is something that I wanted. And it was a bit pricey, but I love it. I literally sit on it every single day. And it just brings a lot of joy in my life. And I realize how much of a difference it is buying things that I actually want and that fits the lifestyle that I want versus just getting stuff that everybody else gets. Like when I started tailoring things to what do I want. And a lot of times the easiest way to figure this out is if you've had something in your cart for like weeks, months, but like you keep going back and forth on whether you should get it or not, get it. Because if you've been sitting with that item in your cart and you've been going back to it and like indecisiveness, get it. So if you've been sitting there looking at it for months, that means that you want it. If you've been lurking for months, you want it. And so sometimes when we grow up in certain environments where what we want is very different from what everybody else around us wants, it can really distort the lifestyle choices that we make when it comes to style and decoration and just life in general. And you don't think about how much little things like that truly change how you feel every day. Like if you got the bed that you wanted, how would you wake up feeling every single day instead of being in a bed that you hate or that's just like, it's a bed. It's a bed. But yet you're gonna spend like 10 years in that bed. So you need to get something that you truly want. And so for me, that became the biggest self-care habit that I started to cultivate, was buying things that I really wanted. I'm sitting there lurking, looking, going back and forth on whether to buy it or not. That means I want it. And then that means I need to go on ahead and get it. Because for me, that's just a tall tale sign if something been sitting in my cart for months and I keep going back to it. It's not like, oh, I just put it in the cart and completely forgot about it. Like, no, I'm like going back every few days and like sitting in this energy of indecision, because it's those two identities are fighting. It's like, okay, been living life this way. This is what everybody else does. This is what's considered normal for everybody else. But I really want this thing over here. So you have this identity, that's like, buy it. Forget what everybody else say. Forget, if it's like if it's expensive, or if other people would judge because it's more than what they would pay. A lot of people, and that's why. And this is a whole nother self-care habit. Another self-care habit. And this is going to be for certain people. This may not apply to everybody. But another self-care habit for me is to not take other people's advice, or to not ask them for their advice. Especially if they're not living the life that is just like extraordinary to me. If their lifestyle doesn't blow me like out of the water, like just looking at them and I'm just like amazed at how they're living, if I'm not amazed by them, I'm not taking their advice. And I wouldn't take their advice on if they said I should get a jacket or not. Like, I've had to learn to stop asking people for their advice, and even when people give it to me, to filter it out. Because I would sit in a lot of indecision, because I would sit there and have these people saying this thing in my ear, but I really wanted this thing, even this couch. When I first moved, I knew I wanted like a vintage style couch. Everybody around me, oh, just to get a cheap look couch or whatever. I wanted this, and so, and I had even tried to like find cheaper alternatives, and this is a whole nother thing. I had even tried to find like cheaper alternatives on Facebook Marketplace, but it went left. It went left. It didn't work out, and I ended up buying a brand new vintage style couch instead of getting a used one off of Facebook. And I'm like 100% glad in the decision that I made with that, and to not listen to everybody else, and to spend the money to get this couch, because I sit on it every single day. It is like the main center point and focus when you come in, and it's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful, especially in person. It just completely set the whole mood in my apartment. It just changes everything. So yeah, that's a whole nother one. Whole nother self-care advice. Don't take other people's advice, and especially if it haven't yielded you the results. Some people, they need to hear other people's advice, For others, that can be very detrimental. And for me, it was very detrimental listening to other people's advice who were not living an extraordinary life. So, yeah, started buying what I want. Uh, Indecision is a decision. Because my mom used to say that she like, indecision is a decision. Indecision is a decision. And for me, indecision is a decision. And so learning to buy what I want, and especially if I'm sitting in indecision, that's the decision. Um, Next is taking care of my physical body and presentation and what I do with my own body and choices that I've made. So taking my skincare seriously. Um, Taking better care of my teeth, doing teeth whitening. And honestly, like, I've gotten to the point where I don't even need to do like teeth whitening treatments anymore. Like, I used to use the strips, but because of how like my daily routine is, I rarely even need those anymore. I barely use them anymore because I get the results just from my day-to-day routine. And so I use a whitening mouthwash, and I keep it in my mouth. I try to keep it in my mouth as long as I can for about like 60 seconds before spitting it out. And yeah, so just having that, tweaking my daily routine when it comes to skincare, um, teeth, it changed the whole ball game. Cause like I see people and they go and they get all these crazy treatments and stuff, but I really learned that sometimes just tweaking the products that you're using changes everything. So also hair, dyeing your hair, getting it cut in a certain style, um, and just wearing hairstyles that more so suit your face, um, getting a color analysis. That's that's the one right there, getting a color analysis. Um, and so basically, if you don't know what that is that the idea is that people, right? So the four seasons you have: summer, spring, fall, winter, or autumn. It's called autumn, but four seasons. Within those four seasons, it's three other categories within those four seasons. But as you can kind of figure out, autumn is more so autumn tones. It's muted, darker colors like darker browns, red, maybe oranges, greens, colors that you would consider autumn. Winter color palette, darker colors, or more bolder, potent colors in a sense. But and then spring, summer, lighter colors. So it bases it off of like your skin's contrast between like your skin, your hair, everything, and it tells you which color season will look best on you, and which one of the three categories within that color, within that season will look best for you. So that is something that I highly recommend. Once I started doing that, I noticed a difference in my appearance, and just, I hate to say it, how I was treated when I went out, because I was now wearing colors that matched my skin tone a lot better. So I got treated a lot better. But I went into the outside world. Um, and so you might notice that it can change like your confidence and just how you feel going about the world when you're wearing colors that more so suits your skin tone and your undertone. Um, Another thing is your body type. So dressing for your body type is kind of essential because what looks good on somebody else won't look good on you, and it's not always like the dress anything, it's really just your body type because um, somebody with very broad shoulders may look good in certain clothes versus somebody who has a wider lower body. So just really dressing for your body type will make you look 10 times better. And it's crazy, like when I started dressing for my body type, seeing how, wow, like the different cut of jeans make a drastic difference in how my body looks. Just a slightly difference between bell bottoms or like flared jeans versus skinny jeans. High rise versus regular rise pants, mid rise versus low rise, right? And so you kind of just see how these different things look different on your body. Necklines, how different necklines look on you. Sometimes some necklines can look a little crazy. Some of them can look amazing. And so really just getting my physical appearance to be more so of what I wanted was like one of the best things I could have ever done. Changing out the clothes in my closet, upgrading my closet, upgrading my skincare, teeth, nails, hair, was one of the best self-care habits that really made me start to love life again and just love myself. Cause like if you're always looking at yourself in a baggy spaghetti stained shirt with sweatpants on, that's gonna distort how you view yourself. It's gonna change how you see yourself. Some people be like, oh no, I have super high self-esteem, while they're sitting in their spaghetti stained shirt and sweatpants with a hole in the back. So, you know, very much recommend getting your physical appearance the way that you want it to be. And just tweaking small things like changing your hair color, switching up your skincare and your teeth. Those things can really change a lot. Switching out your wardrobe can change a lot and just make you see yourself a lot differently and make you see yourself as the main character instead of just some side character in a sweatpants and a baggy spaghetti stained shirt. So those are my tips and self-care habits for really like loving your life, and what made me start to really enjoy life. And if out of all of them, I would say they're all important, but really doing what you want to do is the main core at a lot of them. being who you want to be, dressing how you want to be, appearing how you want to be, traveling where you want to travel to, buying what you want to buy. It all ends up going back to just being you, who you are at the core, and just doing what you want. And so I will leave it at that. And I will catch up to you guys next time. Bye.